What up? Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we are out here with my buddy Sean Lee. He's actually inside his cave right now. We are gonna go and meet him because we're gonna do a little special on a very special car to him. It's a very special car to me because it is a 997.1 GT3 RS, but there's something really special about it, so I'll let him explain it. Let's go meet him. Yeah, that's a Skyline wagon. Pretty amazing. Let's go check out what he's got inside. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Code Collective. I'm joined by my friend Sean Lee at his man cave here. And the reason why we're here is because we want to share his story of his beautiful 997 GT3 RS, basically my favorite car. He's got a great history with this car, so I want to maybe just talk about his experience, his ownership with the car, but more importantly, why it's so special to you. So maybe we can start. How long have you owned the car for?
So I owned this car since I think 2008-ish, around there, and so been quite a long time, maybe 10, 11 years. Yeah.
And, you're the second owner? I'm
the second owner, but I believe I'm to be the third owner. So the last owner is a good friend of mine, and he bought it from the previous owner too.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So in your 11 years of experience of owning this car, like, I mean, of all your cars, I'm assuming this is probably one of your favorite cars, is it not?
Yeah, this car actually is one of my, out of all the cars I ever owned in my life, this is one of my favorite cars. Of course, besides, everybody knows the specs of it, so we don't want to talk about the specs and how he drives. I mean, I think it's the friendship that came along after this. Sure. That's what makes this car really special to me in my life, you know.
So I noticed something right away. Your front fenders look like they're much wider than a normal RS.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
So this is actually a G&G Cup car front fenders.
Okay.
So back in the day when the previous owner owns the car, and we always talk about how we're gonna modify our car a certain way, just like two car guys, like how we talk about the AS6 or when we're on our private times. So his idea was to create possibly the lightest of the RS that's available. So he picked the car that's actually everything. There's no nav. Has to be bucket seats. So he actually changed out the rear glass to be a Lexan, which is a cup car.
Right.
And then he puts the cup car fenders on there to accommodate the wider wheels for the front.
Nice. And then you don't have the wart on the dashboard, so yours is clean of that.
Exactly that. Yeah.
It's so funny because I feel like when you buy a car, like in the future, if your car is the most base you can get, those are the ones that always go up in price. Because they're the most rarest, because everyone's getting options and stuff. Yeah. Meanwhile, later on, you don't want anything, right? You just want it to be the most bare that you can get. So that's pretty cool to see that. So the fenders, what are they made out of?
I think they're made out of carbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It looks so, and I think normally RSs just have regular size front fenders, right?
Yes.
From the narrow body. So off bat, you could just see it and just see how aggressive that looks. So that's really cool.
Yeah, the tire that you can run on there is just pretty wide. I think I have the proper set of tires over there. Right now, the tires on there it's not fit for this fender, but the proper set, I think I'm running 285 or 265 for the front.
Damn.
You want to hold on one second? Let me check.
Okay. We're verifying numbers, so we're good. So.
This is the original front. So. You like it?
Yeah, it's got a 9.
Yeah, it's 265. Right? Yeah, it's 265. The rear running 325s. So this is actually the original. This is actually the original front. This is the rear. Look at the 325 cross sections. So this is the original rear. That's the story.
Dope. So okay. So other than that, the seats, you said that the seats came with the car?
So no, the seats that we added on a little later on, it's Corolla GT seats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, they look great, of course.
They're quite an expensive option back in the day. It's like 14 grand each.
have you priced them out recently?
No, what happened?
I don't know. Because I always figure those things always go up in price.
I think a guy that I know, you know too, he has 14 pairs.
He's Asian, of course, right?
He's Asian. He's in NorCal. I know who you are. It's ridiculous.
14 pairs.
14 pairs.
Damn.
But it's good. It's good price. Okay. I think back in the day, I forgot a retail price on it. I think it was between 11 or 12 or something like that each. And I think over a year they went up like crazy right now. Yeah,
they always do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a safe investment. So if you don't like
buy more
stocks,
seats.
buy more seats. Buy more rare Porsche race cars, race seats.
Yeah.
All right. So 10 years you've owned it. How many miles have you put on the car?
So I put about maybe 6,000, 7,000 miles on the car. Which I drove this car quite a lot back in the days.
Right.
You probably seen me
I
driving
remember.
it.
And you'd love driving this. I mean, you drive all your cars, but around the streets, of course.
Yeah.
But what about suspension?
Only on the street.
Only on the streets.
In a track, safe environment.
Always a safe environment.
Yeah.
So what about suspension?
Suspension right now, it has a KW Plus Sports on it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you liking those?
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Dope. And then of course you bought this 10 years ago, which means he probably got this at a really great price because we already know the recession was already hitting at the time. So, of course, somewhere probably around 11 or so, 2011, prices kind of skyrocketed on these.
Yes,
you just went from being like under 100 to like double that price.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this is a car you're never going to sell.
This car will stay with me till the day I die.
Sure.
Yeah.
So maybe you can kind of now share with us, the deeper part of the story, why, why it's a forever car for you with amongst your fleet of cars.
So fleet. You want to buy a used car? Come to me. He gets a referral fee. I'm just kidding. So the story starts. The previous owner is actually Paul Walker, and I think a lot of people in the community knows about this car and him. Die-hard car guy. And actually, I met him through another Porsche I bought from him. It was a 996 GT3. Okay. So right after that car, he immediately bought himself a 997 GT3 RS. And if you remember back in my days, all my car has to be white. And somehow he's just somewhat like that too. So the day he bought a car, I still remember when the car was stock, I saw the car, I go, hey, thanks for finding me another white car. So then he started modifying, he told me what he's gonna do with the car, he started modifying it and more. And I still remember throughout the whole process when we were modifying it, every time he adds different stuff on there, he would tell me little by little, and then until we see the whole car getting built, and and it was very special. Every car we share later on, of course, we share a lot of cars after this, right? I have many of his cars. It's like every car is a journey. Every car we had built together, it reminds of friendship that we had, and it was very, very unique experience. And to get to having him as a friend and dear friends, and able to build cars with him and talk about cars, and later on eventually lead to drive on a racetrack together and have fun with the car,
Do you still, I don't remember you having a 996 GT3. Did you sell that one before you got this one?
Actually, I didn't sell that car. The car is actually stored at my friend's house right now.
Well, that one's white?
That one's white.
All right, well, shoot, man, I've never seen that one. So
I have a lot of cars you've never seen. I have a black 991 you've never seen. You haven't seen my 993 4S yet.
Your white one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
You haven't seen my 996 Turbo?
The GT2 front end?
Yeah,
I've seen that one. I've seen that one. The only one I haven't seen is the 996 GT3. I didn't even know you had one. So
you don't even know I have a Camaro, I have a Miata.
Yeah, but we're not talking about those cars right now. We're not talking about those cars. There's just Scott reviews over there.
It's not cool enough to be cool collective.
we talk about this car, and the 996 is good. So what year is that one? It's like 04, 05?
That's so 04.
Okay, well, we'll have to do another piece on that car later. But,
yeah.
So anyways, so you've had that car. Paul owned. How long did Paul own this car for?
He only for like about a year and a half.
So he didn't enjoy the car, or he just?
So he did. He sold me. Okay. There's a story about this car. I have another one of his car. Okay, and I bought it from him because he has one. He forced me to have one. But mine has a lot of problem. I'm waiting for all the parts from Japan, and it takes forever. And for me, I gotta have a car that I can drive now. I cannot let a car sit for month and month. That's not able to drive it, just getting parts for it. So I told him that I really don't want this car anymore. So I gave him back that car for a partial trade on this car. So right after actually sold me this car, he went out and bought another white one with lower mileage. I think 2,500 miles.
997?
997.
Okay.
Dot
Point
one.
one? Dot
Yeah,
one?
he loves the dot one.
Hey, I don't want the secret to get out there, but dot one's, I always say dot one's my favorite by far, but all right. So,
Yeah, I love this 3.6 liter. Oh my God, high revving.
and it just looks better. Like, look at this front end. I mean, look, I'm not trying to downplay like point twos. I know you guys love them, but you know, it's got that little mouth. It's got that little catfish mouth. Like, this is just a more beautiful front end, man. It's just, that's just me, but also drivability on the 997.1s. It's just a perfect car for me. You know,
It is.
And this one feels great. You know, this one feels like a man's car. You get into it, and everything about it just, it's a car that, I mean, Sean let me drive the Supra this morning, which is a fabulous car. But for me, you know, where my heart lies is, you know, something like this. It's just, it's a raw car. It's just, there's not a lot of stuff in it. You know, like when I got into the Supra, I'm not used to all the buttons and stuff. And, you know, maybe I'm just getting old, but, you know, I just like getting in and just, where's the stick, where's the steering wheel and gas pedal and clutch. And that's, to me, kind of where it kind of ends. And I feel like this is the last car for me in terms of new cars that I would get into, because everything else, like a lot of the stuff that you own, well, I mean, you own a lot of new stuff too, but a lot of stuff, of course, 80s and 90s. And I think a lot of us here are from that generational, you know.
I think cars now these days, right, when they're making cars, the driving feeling is getting more and more digital. I really feel like, I'm not going to say what car I was driving recently, but I feel I'm not driving a car. I feel like I'm sitting in there driving a driving simulator.
Yeah.
Actually on the road. You know, the steering rack is electronically controlled, and you feel like, I mean, handles great. Don't get me wrong, but the feedbacks, right? Like, and of course the transmission is beautiful, and unfortunately they're all either dual clutch or automatic now. And excellent transmission. I understand people wants to buy these cars. Maybe for better lap times, but you have to know, these are not race cars. These are our cars we enjoy.
Sure.
I still enjoy cars that are very analog, and that hasn't certain your life like an ex-wife. You know, every time you drive, it comes out, you feel like you work out.
Yeah.
You know, you feel you sweat. It's like sometimes I told people, like, you go to gym to do Stairmaster, and because they're full of AC, but you're not sweating. Then what's the point of going there? Yeah, why don't you go out to Mother Nature and go for a walk, and you're still gonna build strength of your body, and you're gonna sweat a lot. Sure. Which is sweating, we know, is actually the part that makes you feel healthy.
Right.
Because the toxin out of your body. I think driving, it has to be part of like that. You work for that pleasure. You know, it's like a workout, mentally, physically. This car gives a workout.
I think that's the reason why young kids today don't like driving, because I think you young millennials, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys are used to having everything so easy. You know, you guys want cars to open doors for you. You want it to self-park. And it's like all of those things, no power steering, manual, like it doesn't register to them. And I think, you know, I think I was born in 1980, so I think I'm kind of close to, I think probably 5 years under me is probably the last generation of people who probably have an understanding of like analog.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, and I think the newer generation, of course, with technology and, you know, Ubers and stuff, everyone's just used to having things, you know, safe, you know, in a box. So yeah, for me, so I think, you know, I've seen lately prices of 997s have been kind of softening a bit. I think the whole market has, but this is a great time to get into one. I think in the next few years, if they do dip anymore, like it is absolutely the car to have. I sold mine for under 85, and I think that's a tremendous value. But you know, if an RS ever gets under like 125, man, it is go time, because I don't think they'll ever get that low again. So. Any other thoughts about the 997 versus like the 991? You got a 991 up there. We're looking at. Maybe we can show people the 991 up there real quick. But what are your comparisons versus the two?
Like I said again, it's a very fast car. It's probably one of the best Porsche 911 ever driven. Gearbox is perfect. The seating position perfect. It's a fast car, but again, you buy cars like this, what do you want out of it? Like for me, all the cars I want to drive, if I were going to take a car out today, I'd take this out. Because when you're coming back from, let's just say we go for a canyon, we're coming back, you feel like you did a journey with the car. Yeah. You feel like you're taking out with your best friend, you know? You're taking that out, it's become a great transportation. And that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
You can go around the same canyons, that or go to the racetrack. That car would definitely be much better lap time than this one because more power, better handling. But you coming back home, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this is gonna make you like really want to grab a whiskey and sit down and calm yourself down.
Right.
And that's gonna be like, oh okay, let's go and we can go watch a movie and have a dinner. And this now, you really push yourself to drive cars like this. You're coming back, you're gonna be mentally tired, and it beats on you. And I enjoy that.
Sure.
So there's no right or wrong.
Right. It's all preference and purpose and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think our purpose is kind of more aligned. And I think funny enough, because I've known Sean now for, I don't know, maybe 5+ years. And it's funny enough, like I've seen Sean's collection, and I think like inherently I ended up very close to some of the stuff that he has. Obviously not on the same scale, but like a regular GT3 or a 993. Because I think, it's funny because I was talking to our buddy Wes. I remember there was a time when I was getting...
Who's that?
This one guy you probably used to know. But the funny thing about this is like, because, I think between you and him, you guys are used to like very powerful cars and stuff. And there was a time when I was getting into air-cooled cars, and he was telling me, he goes, man, I don't understand them. He goes, Sean used to let me drive around his 993 all the time. Yeah. And he goes, man, I almost drove it around for a whole week, and I don't get it. And so I was like, well, when I first got the car, when I first bought my 964 4 years ago, I didn't know if I was gonna like it either. But as soon as I drove down the street, instantly I was like, oh, and I connected with the car immediately. And so I think going back, either you get it or you don't. And I think a lot of people our age understand it because it's kind of like when you drive new cars versus driving an old analog car, there are components of feel, smell, and the whole energy is much different. And so I became a lover inherently in a lot of the same cars that you did, but I didn't have the same journey as you did because I think inherently, like I seen the stuff that you were getting into, but like I fell in love with it just in a different way. And then when I later realized when I had the cars, like, damn, like I have a lot of similar cars that Sean does. And so like I realized like you and I have very similar like taste and probably an energy of driving. And so, I mean, to me, like the fact that you held on to this car and the reason why it's so special to you is like, that was really powerful. And that's the reason why I wanted to share it because, we know that cars are not just about, just owning it. Some people use cars as trophies, but some people actually like to drive it. But we know sometimes that there's a deeper understanding and meaning for cars. And for you, like I knew your story with this car and just how meaningful it is. And the fact that you still have the 996 GT3 shows me like how more powerful that connection is. And so maybe in the future, whenever it's here, we'll do another follow-up with that. But, I love this car. Thank you, Sean, so much for sharing your story. And we'll get out there and show you guys more of this car. But absolutely, to me, this is a GOAT. And so that's it, Sean.
That's it.
Thank you, brother. We out.
Peace out. Cool
and
collective.
And this water is amazing from the air.
It's amazing from the air.